Hello, it is good afternoon on the 11th of October. Well, when we're going to be uploading this, we don't know yet. We don't know yet. As always, I am collecting a series of interviews again. So I am back with my interviews. I am Nisanka. I help female entrepreneurs, professionals, and academics to turn anxiety into growth. But I've got a special guest today, Paul Wilson. Yay, I love Paul. You know, we had a chat before on a podcast. I was interviewed by Paul, and I realized I think I was wearing the same suit that day.
Oh my God, what a scandal. Cancel this recording immediately. Go and get changed, girl.
I realized, oh my God. What a scandal, what a scandal. I know. This is why I love Paul, you know. It's so much fun having a chat with this man full of wisdom. Paul is a mindset coach and a hypnotist and a healer. And I'm gonna give
Consider yourself healed. I'm sending you healing, baby. Sending you healing.
I'm taking it, baby. Send more, make it rain. Oh my God. Today we've got a wonderful conversation lined up for you. The topic is something, drum roll, something that we talk about a lot in our lives. There's research, there's surveys, there's this paper, that paper, and everybody talks about this topic. And we're going to do something different about the topic. So the topic is, would you like me to tell, and would you like to tell yourself?
No, you're doing great. You launch me, and then I will take off.
Launch you. All right, then. Here's the topic. You don't need confidence to do a thing. That is the topic. And if you're watching, you're thinking, what are we going to talk about? Embrace yourself. And if you've been questioning, I'm not confident enough to do ABC. I'm not confident enough to go live. I'm not confident enough to ask for that promotion. I'm not confident enough to stand up for myself. Then embrace yourself for a wonderful chat about you don't need confidence to do a thing. So I am going to create the space for you, Paul. Introduce yourself, and then let's get right to it, shall we?
Yes, let's get to it. Right. Good afternoon. My name is Paul. As the lovely Nisanka said, I'm a mindset coach, a hypnotist, and a healer. And very similar kind of thing that we do. I work with entrepreneurs and sort of higher level consultants to help them get out of their own way, to eradicate those feelings of constant self-doubt, imposter syndrome, and procrastination, perfectionism, paralysis, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. But today I want to talk about something really specific, something that really bugs me. Yeah. Where people say you've got to have confidence to go on stage. You've got to have confidence to go live. You've got to have confidence to do this thing. Now, if you look in a dictionary, the word confidence has lots and lots of definitions. And my preferred definition is self-belief in, or belief in yourself and your abilities. I'll say that again, believe in yourself and your abilities. So I've got a question for you. How can you believe in yourself if you don't yet have an ability? And that's really important. Because what I want to do is I'm going to demonstrate to you that you can do stuff. You have already done stuff without needing confidence. In fact, the word confidence probably didn't even enter your mind. So let me give you the first example. Now, if you've got young kids, you've seen this yourself. If you've been a child, we've all been children, hopefully, unless you're an alien, you have done this. And it starts off with something that I like to call the sofa shuffle, because I've had 3 boys myself, so I've seen this in action. So your child gets anywhere from, I don't know, 9 to 13 months, let's say, and they've been crawling around. But they get fed up of crawling. They see mum and dad and the siblings and grandma and grandpa wandering about on 2 legs, and they want to get in on the action. They want to see where you're going when you go around to that room, because they can't follow you. So what happens is one day they reach up to the sofa and they grab the end of the cushions and they pull themselves up. And then they start kind of walking hand over hand along the sofa. And what happens? Sometimes they fall on their bum and they start crying. And mum or somebody comes up and goes, oh, there, you'll be fine, you'll be fine, you'll be fine. Baby stops crying, sits on the floor again, looks up at the sofa, and up they get. And they start doing the sofa walk. Now, did at any time that baby that you may have seen or yourself go, you know what? Sod it. I'm giving up on this walking lark. It's too much like hard work. I don't have the confidence. I'm never going to bother walking. I give up. I'm going to just put up with crawling for the rest of my life. Of course not. Baby persists and carries on until one day, out of the corner of your eye, you're minding your own business, watching the telly or reading the paper, and in the middle of the room, baby gets up on all fours, gets up kind of like in a squat position, and then kind of steps up, stands up, and boom, 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 boom. 3 or 4 steps, and she's walking, and the whole world celebrates, and flags come out, and poppers go, oh my God, she's walking, she's walking. You message everybody, take pictures. We've all been there. We've all done that. And not one of us, not one single person, even though we might have hurt our bum a few times, even though we have fallen on our knees and maybe hurt our hands, we didn't give up. And the P word, which is a bit of a clue, was part of that. Let's step forward to bicycle riding. We all start off generally on a tricycle, you know, either with the pedals or without the pedals. We're scooting along, scooting along, scooting along. And as we get a bit older, Christmas comes around, it's usually Christmas, we get a proper bicycle with the stabilizer wheels on either side. And we get on that thing and we're off, you know, wibbling and wobbling, wibbling and wobbling. We're having a great time. And then one day, one of the stabilizers comes off, duh, 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 and you're cycling around like this for a few days because you're resting on the one wheel. If you go on that side, you know you're going to fall off, so you're always on this side, yeah? And then, in a not too distant future, somebody takes off that final stabilizer and we're sitting on our bicycle ready to go, and somebody has their hands on our shoulders and they start running behind us, and you go, let go, mum, I'm good, and you wibbling and wobbling, wibbling and wobbling, wibbling, wobbling, and then you're off. And then you're off. And you've gone. Now, you may have fallen off your bike and scraped your knee or scraped your elbow, and you may have cried, but mum's gone, I can't kiss my own elbow. There, then you'll be fine. And you get back on the bike and off you go. Did you ever at any stage go, oh God, riding a bicycle is just so difficult. I'm never going to bother. I just give up. No. And there's another P word, and there's something else that comes into that as well. I'll come back to in a minute. Final example, driving a car. We can all remember the first time we got in a car with the instructor sat beside us, or a parent or somebody, and there's this steering wheel, and there's these levers, and there's these pedals on the floor, there's mirrors everywhere, and it's like, oh my God, what do I do? And you turn the engine on, and you, everybody stalls first time, unless you're in an automatic, because that's cheating, but you stall, and you chunder, and you stall, and you chunder. But what happens? After 2, 3, 4, 5 lessons, you start to drive, and the instructor puts you in traffic with other cars and bicycles and buses and trucks, and you're driving. And then the day comes and you have your test and you pass your test, and you may pass it first time, second, fourth, fifth, 20 times, but you pass your test. And did you ask about confidence? You may have got frustrated, you may have got upset that you weren't learning as quick, but you were damned gonna pass that test. So let's go back to the baby. Why? Because they wanted something. They had a goal. They wanted to be like all these grown-ups walking around on 2 legs. That was their why. That was their main reason. When we learned to ride a bicycle, why did we want the stabilizers off? Because we wanted to be a big kid. We wanted to be a big kid, like Carla mentioned. We wanted to go on adventures to 500 yards down to the shops with our mates. We wanted to go to the park. We wanted something. We wanted to be part of the gang. Third reason, why do we pass the car test? Freedom, independence. We no longer wanted to be reliant on the taxi of mum and dad. We didn't want to take public transport. There might not be public transport. So there was a defining reason. And the second word, the dreaded P word that nobody wants to talk about, practice. Nobody wants to talk about this word practice. Everybody expects to be an expert at something the first go. Why do so many people not want to go live on Facebook or wherever? It's because, oh my God, I'm gonna make a mess. I'm gonna lose I won't have a script, and this won't happen. The microphone might be off. And I tell you something. Today, I've done 2 live recordings, one on LinkedIn and one on Facebook. Guess what? The microphone was off both times. Not one time, 2 times. 2 20-minute or so presentations that I've done with no microphone. It happens. And this is what we need to accept. We must practice something. Going back to that definition, you cannot have confidence in your abilities if you haven't done the thing before. You just need to do it and practice and accept that you're going to fall on your bum or you're going to fall and scrape your knee, metaphorically speaking. And if you accept that, you can do anything. Literally, you can go on stage and do some public speaking. You can, go live as long as you practice. Okay, Paul, how do I practice? Okay. Number 1, let's talk about going live, because that's what everybody wants to talk about. You can get, this is a mirror now, okay? Hey, Paul, you're gorgeous. I love you. You can talk to your mirror. Yeah. You can talk to your mirror. You can practice in the mirror. Because when you go live, you don't see the people. You just see your own reflection. So talk to yourself. Hey, Paul, you're gorgeous. I love you. Today I'm going to go live to talk all about me and how amazing I am. Do that. Another thing you can do is on Facebook, you can create a group that nobody knows about. It's a secret group. You can set a secret group up just for you, and you can go live to your heart's content. And now this is exactly the same as going live anywhere on Facebook, in a group, on a page, on your own personal profile. It's the same process. Click go live and start talking. The only thing that changes is a little number in the corner. Now, one thing that really makes me smile, and I'll come back to more practice things in a minute, is a lot of people, when they say to me, Paul, I want to go live, but I can't, I'm scared because people are going to criticize me, is people have this impression that there's like a million critics waiting to criticize them. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, so there's a million people who've got nothing else to do in their life, absolutely nothing to do in their life, apart from sit there waiting for that little blink, 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 blink message notification on their phone to go, Paul's going live. Paul's going live for the first time. Roger Alpha 2745. Paul is going live. Check out, check out, check out. And then they're suddenly all going to cram and go live and watch you and start pointing the finger. I hate to break this to you, but the first, second, 10, maybe the 100th time you go live, if you're lucky, your cat will be watching. Your mum's budgerigar will be watching. Your tortoise might be watching. If the dog's awake, she might be watching. Seriously. Yeah. I've forgotten the amount of times when I did a live and there was 0. That little number, the number from hell, was 0. Yeah. But guess what? It doesn't matter, because the one thing we tend to forget is that the live is live now for 10 minutes or 5 minutes or 15 minutes. But once you press stop, unless you delete it, it stays there forever. You can download that to your computer. You can repurpose it. You can stick it in different places. You can take the transcript. You can use it in so many different ways. You can turn it into a podcast. So just because there's nobody watching doesn't mean no one's going to see it. This is so important. Another thing you can do, if you think, well, I really need an audience because I'm so important, I really want people to watch me, I want people to listen to me. Well, you can bribe me. Send me a truckload of, what do I want? Chocolate biscuits or Jack Daniels or £1 million, whichever one of those you'd like to send me, send them to me and I'll come into your secret group and I'll go, and I'll be your critic. You don't know what you're talking about. Again, you've got this impression that everybody's out to get you. Look, you need to deflate your ego. Nobody's out to get you unless you're a really horrible, nasty, shitty kind of person, which I know you're not. Yeah, nobody's out to get you. Yes, sometime in the near future, somebody might be come on See Your Live and they're having a bad day. Their wife's just kicked them, or the dog's just bit them, or they've been fired, and they're going to, oh, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you. Yeah. So what? It happens. Yeah. You just need to practice. It all comes down to having the compelling reason. Why do you want to go live? What is it that's making you go live, or wanting to go live? Do you have an audience? Do you have a message? Is there something you want to get out there? Do you have a product? Do you have a thing that you want to offer people? That is your compelling reason.
Yeah.
If that's your compelling reason, then practice. Practice, 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 practice. Go live at 6:30 in the morning when nobody's awake. Yeah. Go live at 3 o'clock in the morning if you want to stay up that late, or use your secret group and just practice and practice and practice, and then just do it. You can go live for like a minute on Facebook. Go live 10 times a day, 10 1-minute lives. You can just do it. And the more you practice it, the more you get used to it. I still stumble and mumble and bumble my words, and it's just the way it goes. But it doesn't matter, because the main reason people want you to go live is so they can see you, this person.
Yeah.
That's who they want to. They don't. And also, this is another real thing that gets me. For some bizarre reason, people think they have to be like a BBC News reader. Good afternoon, and here is the news. Today in Bubbleland, Roberts went up by 55,000%. We're not trying to be BBC News reader, okay? We're just trying to be us. We're just trying to be us. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's all your potential customers. They want to see you.
Yeah.
They don't want the fake you.
Yeah.
Hello, good afternoon. If I started speaking like this, hello, good afternoon. My name is Paul, and today I would like to talk about blah, blah. People would know straight away that I'm trying to be pretending to somebody that I'm not. That's not how I talk. You've seen me talk. That's what I do. This is who I am.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
thank you very much. Yeah, go on. I
was just going to say, practice and compelling reason, or the compelling reason followed by practice. That's how you get confidence. And then over time, the confidence will be there, because you won't be thinking about it. You'll just be doing it. And that's when the confidence comes in, when you don't have to stress out about it and worry about it. Yeah. Just practice, 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 practice.
That is wonderful. That is absolutely wonderful. I was listening to you talking about the bicycle, and I remembered how my dad taught me how to ride the bicycle. None of that stabilizing thing, and I had like a massive adult bicycle. That's all we had, and we could afford at the time. I put my legs between, holding onto the handle, and I was like bending over. My dad went whack on my back. I was like, yeah, I'm riding. But that is also another way of doing it.
Oh yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, you often get a bicycle that's way too big for you as well, because they want you to grow into it. Yeah, I'll grow into it, Dad. I'll grow into it in about 25 years. Yeah, I'll grow into it.
I know, but what you said absolutely resonates. When you have something that you feel truly connected to something, like your very strong why. When you stumble, when you can't do things, when you have bad days, you still have that stronger why to keep yourself going. One thing I picked up, and you mentioned a lot about practice and repeat, practice. It's very important. That's how we get confident about things. One thing also you mentioned, and what I heard in your talk, was also to have support around you. Babies, they fall on their bum and they cry a little bit, and then when they get that encouragement and confidence is through their parents coming in and giving them loving support. And then driving instructor, when you have supporting driving instructors, you actually learn better. I remember my first driving instructor, literally, Paul dumped me. I was texting him. I was so bad. He dumped me, right? I was texting him. He wouldn't return my text. I called him and left a voicemail. He wouldn't return my call. And I can see him driving around. I could see him driving around with other students. I was like, right, you dumped me. But then I actually found somebody who was able to really tune into my, at the time I was really fearful about learning driving. I didn't learn driving until I was really late in my life as well, like 30s, 37 I was when I started driving. And he was really able to. So another thing is, it's not too late to start anything. You know, if you think your life is, you know, you're in your late 30s or 40s or anything like that, and you feel like you're too late to start, and it's not.
It is in some cases. Like I am 61. If I wanted to be a surgeon, it would take 15, 20 years because I'd have to go back to school and get my O level.
Yeah.
But having said that, if you're in your 20s or 30s or even 40s, you can still become a doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you can still become a doctor. It's just that you might not have much time to practice and
yeah, I could
work
qualify,
and
then die.
yeah, you
Thank
can
you,
qualify.
Nisanka. Yeah. All that time practicing becoming a doctor, and the day they sign my certificate, say you can go and work on people, I snuff it. Thank you.
That's not what I meant. I meant you
No,
still
but I
want
get your point. I
yeah.
completely agree. You can pretty much do anything. So if you're holding back, the thing you need to ask yourself is, what is holding me back? If you
Yeah.
have this thing that you really want to do, then what is it that's stopping you? Because
Yeah.
my guess is it's up here in your subconscious mind.
Mm.
Unless you're if you're in a really bad relationship, in a toxic relationship, then yeah, your partner could be stopping you. But generally speaking, the only thing that's in between me and the thing that I want to do is me.
Yeah. And if your partner is stopping, it's just not worth your time. Dump and move on. And him or her, move on. Yeah, absolutely. It's just not worth the time pursuing at all. And the other thing I was going to ask you is about, there's always a first step. There's always a step, you know, and then the repetition comes after. So what would you say to anybody who is scared, fearful, or, you know, not really wanting to take that first step? What advice would you have for those people?
Good question. The very, very first step is making the decision.
Yeah.
You've got to make the decision, and you've got to have the balls, you've got to have the lady parts to stick to your decision, because it's got to be something that you want. And in fact, the decision you make has to be something that you want. If you're doing this for somebody else, if you're doing this because your influencer says everybody should go la, why? If it's not what you want, there's a big thing at the moment about becoming a six-figure entrepreneur, as if like that's some massive goal, some arbitrary thing. It's not. If you really, really, really want to be a six-figure entrepreneur, I'm talking pounds here, and you've got a reason why, maybe you want to sort of like look after your family, maybe there's some massive dream you want to spend that money on, then absolutely go for it. Absolutely. But if it's not your dream, no matter how much work you do, no matter how much effort you put into it, you might get there, but you are going to be as miserable as buggery when you get there, because it's not what you want. So before you make the decision, make sure that it's something that you want. Like we talked about the baby wanting to be like the adults, like we talked about learning to ride a bicycle so you could be with your friends, like we talked about driving the car so you had the freedom and independence. They are compelling reasons why you wanted to do the thing. So that's the first step. Know that it's what you want to do. Then make the decision. And then this one is probably the hardest thing that stops most people. Do something about it.
Yeah. Do
something about it. Even if you're scared, even if you're frightened, get a coach, get yourself a hypnotist, get yourself, do what it needs to do and break it down. If you think, well, I want to speak in front of 50,000 people to get my message out, that's a great goal to have, but it's going to be extremely difficult to get yourself on a stage in front of 50,000 people for lots of different reasons. So break it down. Maybe get yourself in front of one person and talk about your thing, then 5, then 10, and so on until you get to your 50,000. And doing it, you can go do lives, you can do speaking in local women's groups and local business networking groups, that kind of thing, and build up to it. And if you think, well, Paul, I'm very shy, Paul, I can't stand up in front of people because I don't have the confidence. Bollocks. You don't need confidence. That's what we've been talking about.
Yeah.
Practice, 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 and accept that you are going to screw up.
Yeah.
Accept it. If you know,
Absolutely.
if you go on that stage, you know what, I'm probably going to forget my script. I'm going to drop the microphone. I'm going to do this, look like a real idiot. Great. Once you accept that, you can relax. The shoulders will come down. Your breathing will be more regular. Yeah. Get yourself excited. Look forward to it. And just accept that it might not go according to plan, like my 2 lives today. Yeah, okay. A little bit. It was frustrating for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Until I realized I actually wrote a post, a little quick post, made a joke of it. And I'm going to go live again.
Actually, I mean, sense of humor is a massive part of our lives. And without that, I mean, without sense of humor, I don't think I can breathe without sense of humor and a good fun. But coming back to what you said about starting first step, absolutely make sure it is your goal. And because we are often conditioned from a very early stage to dream someone else's life. And I come from an Asian family. I don't think we had dreams. It was like, you'll become this, you'll go to school, you'll choose these subjects. There was a bit of a strict structure that was already made there for us. I mean, I am exaggerating it a little bit just for dramatic effects of the example, but make sure it is your dream. And one trick or one tactic to know which your dream is, if your heart is not in coherence, and your mind is saying something but your heart is not there, you're not feeling it, that's not your dream, is it? Would you agree to it? Because if it's your dream, you're deep down in the bones, in the core of your body, you're feeling that it's your dream. So for example, writing books, writing things, and coaching people, I know it's mine. Speaking in front of public, I know it's mine. I am normally pumped up when I do that, but at the same time, there are certain aspects of my business that I know, this is because I am doing it because I have to, or I have been advised to, or it is because, it's part of the process. And then I know the difference. So when you pick a first step, figure out what is it that you want to do. And like Paul said, very important that you get the support, because we can't do that on our own. I have to have so much support. And you're right about, if you're feeling anxious, and anxiety is obviously fight or flight response in your body. And if you're feeling anxious and you're like going into freeze mode, or you just want to feel like running away from that situation, then take a deep breath. There's breathing techniques. Get hypnotists to help you out before. Practice EFT tapping. There are so many ways to overcoming. Exactly. There are so many ways to overcoming. Yeah, exactly. There's so many ways to overcoming that. Life is in a way very simple. We make it far too complicated, don't we?
Life, as far as we know it, we're only here once. Okay, this is not a buy one get one free. This is not a 7-day trial. This is not a pay $1 then pay $30 in a month's time. This is it. Treat life like an experiment. A scientist, the scientist will say, right, okay, we want to put A, B, and C together and see what happens. They're looking for the result. They're looking for a result. This is what we need to do. If you really want to do something, you will know. And the way to know this is very simple. Go back to my example of learning to ride a bicycle or learning to drive a car. Go back to those times and figure out, get those emotions back of the reason why you were learning to drive your car, for the freedom and the independence. It was something that you wanted to do because you wanted the freedom. You wanted to explore, drive yourself to work and back, whatever it was. Get back in touch with that time. And if the thing you want to do now gives you those same feelings, then you're on the right track. If it leaves you flat, more than anything, we can look in opposites. If something you think you want to do, if you leave, oh yeah, I want to be a 6-figure entrepreneur. Yeah, quite fine. Then that's not your thing. It's not. If you're prepared to work 7 days a week, 12 hours a day, if you're prepared to scrape your knuckles and really do whatever it takes, no matter what, then that's your thing. Now, sometimes, it takes a bit of a while to develop that, that passion for it, but it will get there. And this is why I talk about treating life like an experiment, because just because you haven't found your thing yet, doesn't mean you go, oh, I haven't found my thing. I haven't found my passion. I'm just going to spend the rest of my life doing this job that I don't really like because I'll never find my passion. I'll never find my thing. It's so sad. What you do is you do different things. You spend some time doing this. And if that doesn't float your boat, you spend some time doing that. And if that doesn't float your boat, you find something else and you find something else until one day you go, oh my God, wow, this is amazing. I can't stop. Look at me, I'm 61. I quit my corporate job at age 57 and I was 58, I think, almost around my birthday when I found my thing. And I love it. I love what I do. And do I regret not finding it 20 years ago? Well, yeah, it would have been great if I'd found it 20 years ago, but I didn't. But I'm happy now. I'm living my life the way I want to under my terms. Yeah. And that's the important thing. Doesn't matter what your current age is. If you still haven't found your thing, then start looking for it. You notice I don't use the word passion because that has connotations like this thing. The first day you meet it, it's got to really float your boat. Not necessarily. It can be something you enjoy doing, that you have fun with. It might not be the thing that makes you come out all goosey sweats and, oh, this is my passion. This is my passion. I love it. I love it. It might not do that first time. It might just be really cool. You might enjoy it. You might have made friends. That's what's important. And you talk about support network. And you might be thinking, Paul, I don't have a support network. My friends think I'm an idiot. My parents hate me. Guess what? We can't choose our parents. We can't choose our siblings. We can't choose our family, but we can choose who we want to work with. We can choose who we want to spend time with. We can build our own support network. And if you don't know how to do that, fine, ask me and I will show you how to do it. There are lots of different ways you can build your own support network.
Absolutely.
And it's, like I said, it's so important to have a support network. Yes, you can go it alone, but it's not true. Because it's so difficult. There is nobody that I know that's made, even the self-made millionaire has had help. Maybe they had a mentor. Maybe they had someone at home that was looking after the house and the kids while they were out working. Their parents raised them. Yeah, they had somebody that lent them the money to get started. They had someone that gave them advice. We all have people helping us, even if we don't recognize it. But you can build your support network. Absolutely.
Absolutely. The support network is so important, whether it's paid support network or unpaid, support. Like whenever you have falls, it's very important to be surrounded by those people who can just pick you up and then remind you how great you are. Not the people who actually tell you how miserable you could be or how miserably you could fail if you try new things. You don't want to be around. You don't want to be around those people who project their own anxieties into you. You just need to be around people. If you want to practice and grow your confidence, you need to be surrounded by people who can just be your cheerleaders no matter what. You make bad mistakes, you make bad decisions, like you said, you screw up, you fuck up. It's part of the process. And unless you're open to failures, rejections, we're not going to really grow as people. You don't grow unless you make so many mistakes and you face so many rejections in your life. And growing confidence is part of facing this process, right? Failures and rejections.
Absolutely. But one thing you can do is look at failure in a different way. Look at failure, each thing that doesn't work. Look at it as a stepping stone. I
Yeah.
have forgotten the amount of times I've screwed up. I
Yeah.
have forgotten the amount of times I've failed. There's failed relationships, there's failed businesses, there's failed this, failed that, failed the other. But it doesn't worry me because they were all steps in
Right
progression.
direction.
They were
Yeah,
all
of course.
experiments or part of my experiment called life. And
Yeah.
sometimes experiments don't go the way you want them to. The cliche, Thomas Edison and the 1000 light bulb experiments. Allegedly, Thomas Edison, who didn't invent the light bulb, but who perfected the technique, had about 1000 experiments that didn't work until he found one that did.
Yeah.
This is what life is like.
Absolutely.
Now, you listen to the gurus, they go, oh, no, life is perfect. You wake up one morning and you go, I want to be a six-figure millionaire. You push this button here, and then 24 hours later, you are an instant millionaire. It's so easy. Just send me $25 million and I'll show you how. It takes 5 seconds, yeah? Life isn't like that.
No.
Life is peaks and troughs and plateaus, happiness, sadness, great joy, incredible grief, being ecstatic, being in the depths of despair.
Yeah.
That's what life is. Life is an adventure. Life can be so tedious. Okay, go back to school. How many times when you were a kid in school, there's that enormous giant clock in the classroom? There's always a giant clock in the classroom.
Yeah.
And you're
always a big one.
And it's got the red second hand, And you look up at that second hand and you look down again and you think an hour's passed, and you look up again and 5 seconds have gone. Because you were bored, you didn't like the subject, or you're waiting to get out because you were your boyfriend or your girlfriend, or it was your birthday, whatever, it doesn't matter, yeah? You were bored. So that clock didn't seem to move. Whereas now, the older you get, I mean, Jesus, me, decades go by like that. Seriously, we are 2021, and I cannot believe, I can remember 1999 when people were telling us that planes were going to fall out of the sky, that hospitals would shut down because the Microsoft 2-digit year code thing would completely collapse, and nothing happened.
Nothing's happened.
Nothing happened.
No. They made a movie on 2012.
Yeah, they made movies about the Mayan end of world thing. You know, my whole point is that, you know, life is an experiment.
Yeah.
Life is about time and doing things. You can sit and feel sorry for yourself for as long as you like, but all you're doing is wasting time. In fact, I've got a thing for you. If you're having a really shitty day, if you're having a really crappy week and you're feeling sorry for yourself, have a pity party, but there are rules, okay? You have a pity party. What I want you to do is to get your phone and set a time. Let's say 20 minutes. I'll be generous. You can have 20 minutes. And during that 20 minutes, you go full on, woe is me. Oh, my life is so useless. I am so hopeless. This didn't work. That didn't work. The other thing didn't work. Oh, my God, the world is going to end forever. But when your alarm goes off after 20 minutes, you stop and you put all that pity to one side and you get on with your day. Yeah, in a as bright and as positive manner as you possibly can. Because feeling sorry for yourself, blaming the rest of the world, doesn't do anything. It just causes stress.
No.
Just causes stress. You know, get it over, get it off your chest. Shout and scream and bang your desk or write it down. But after that clock goes bing, 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 get on with things.
Yeah.
Start doing stuff, because that's the only way any of us can change. That's the only way. If you are 5 stone, if you're 100 pounds overweight, the only way that weight is going to drop off is by you doing what you know you need to do. And that is, you know, clearing all the crap out your kitchen, buying some healthy food and going for a walk. You know that. You don't need me to tell you. If you want to, you know, go from 4 figures to 5 figures, you know what you need to do. If you want to go for that promotion, you have to update your CV, write the letter and send it off. Yeah?
Absolutely.
Take action, get stuff done. Treat your life like an experiment and have some fun. Nisanka mentioned a sense of humor. This is another tip. Yeah. Again, if you're having a hard time, use this. This is a great tool. Yes, it's a great tool to waste time, but it's also a great tool to help you. Create a folder, and on that folder, I want you to put all the clips that make you laugh from shows like The Office, from movies, from YouTube. If you like stand-up comedy, put stand-up comedy. If there are memes that make you smile, if there are stories that make you smile, create a folder called funny stuff. And you can use it in two ways. If you're feeling sorry, have your pity party. As soon as the pity party finishes, hit that folder and listen or watch something from that folder. Yeah. If you're about to meet a client, if you're about to go live or do something and you're feeling a bit, hit that folder 5 minutes before and give yourself a giggle. In fact, do another thing. There's a professor called Amy Cuddy. She did the most amazing TED talk about how our body can tell us how we're feeling. So look, let's just do this. Follow me, yeah? Okay. Put your head down. Put your head down and feel, like, yeah. Bend forward and put your head down and look down. And you cannot help but feel really low and miserable. Yeah, put your head up. Is that true? Do you feel that?
Yeah, I could feel the energy rising, yeah.
Yeah, okay, now sit up straight. Piece of string, pulling your head up through your spine. Now this, I can't do this without laughing. Smile. I'm not talking about cheesy. I'm talking about a natural smile. But look, as soon as I start to smile, my brain is hardwired to laugh. I can't help it.
Yeah.
And I feel really good.
It does. It does change.
Two shows this morning without the. I mean, how funny is that? So I did 2 lives and there's no sound. How silly, how ridiculous.
Oh God.
When I smile like this, I can't help it. I start to laugh.
Yeah.
Another one is the Superman pose or the Wonder Woman. If you stand up, put your hands on your hips, imagine there's a cape floating behind you, chest up, chest out, chin forward. And you cannot help but feel powerful and strong.
Yeah.
You can't help it. Yeah.
No.
That's just by using your body language. Now, imagine if you combined your body language, your body positioning with the funny stuff, combined with doing the thing you really want to do or being on the road to that. If you combine that with treating your life like an experiment, how do you think you're going to feel most of the time?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. It's all about knowing where you are, what you're feeling, becoming aware of it, and taking actions, making that decision to change it. Absolutely. Victim consciousness is not a healthy place to be. Smile, facial muscles, change the messages that get sent to your brain. It changes you. Do the pose, Superwoman pose, Superman pose, whatever it is. It's fantastic. I think we're coming to the end of our conversation, Paul. So going back to the topic, you don't need confidence to do a thing. We went into details why we don't need confidence to do a thing. What you're basically saying is we need to make a choice, take the first step, and carry on and repeat. Practice, 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 and get the help that you need.
Simpler than that. You need to have a compelling reason to do the thing. That reason, what makes you want to do it. Yeah, that's the first thing. Just think about going back to being a baby. Think about learning to ride a bicycle. Think about learning to drive a car. You had a compelling reason to it. And the second one is, like you said, is practice. Practice, 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 practice. And expect that it ain't going to work, that you're not going to be perfect. Yeah, I've been going live now for 3 years and I still make mistakes. I still do 20-minute presentation with the sound turned off. I still mumble and bumble and stumble my words. My hair isn't perfect. My background isn't perfect. My beard isn't perfectly trimmed. My makeup is slipping, in the lights. It doesn't matter. All that matters is I'm doing what I enjoy doing and I'm helping people, because that's what gives me my buzz. Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Oh, well, thank you very much. And if anybody would like to get in touch with you, how would they do that?
Paul Wilson Coaching on just about all the platforms. If you go to Facebook and you can find me, just drop me a DM, pop in and say hi.
Yeah, just say hi. Paul's really funny. He'll always respond to you very quickly, and always you're so warm and nice, aren't you?
Yes, I'm warm and lovely and cuddly. And also, listen, if you've got your own group, or if you've got like a business networking thing and you're looking for speakers, give me a shout, because I love talking about this kind of stuff, and imposter syndrome and fear of failure and how to get out of your own way, a whole host of things. Hit me up.
Awesome. Thank you very much. And I am Nisanka. We're coming to the end of the conversation. I hope you've learned a lot. Please drop us a comment and tell us what you've learned, how this conversation inspired you. Get engaged in the conversation. Yes, if any of you would like to invite Paul for a chat, then do so, because look at that smile. How can you say no to that, right? You know, and and if you would like to invite me for a anxiety, trauma, growth, you know, personal growth, then I'm here as well. I'm Nisanka from Coaching with Nisanka, and you can always find me on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram as well. And my website is www.coachingwithnisanka.com. I wish I had chosen something simple, you know, but it's my name, you know. Well, my parents have done me proud, giving me a very unique name, Nisanka. Means no worries, you know. Nisanka means no worries. Anyway, guys, thank you very much. Thank you very much for watching. Paul, thank you very much. If you bear with me, I'll turn the conversation off and then I'll say goodbye to you properly.
Ooh,
bye, guys. Take care.
bye.